Hi everybody, Eric Foxman, Balanced Personal Training. And today I want to share with you some upper body exercises that you can do at home with no gym equipment. So let's get started. Alright, exercise number 1 is one of my most favorite exercises that you can do for your shoulder blades and your rhomboids. So the muscles between your spine and your scapula, those are called your rhomboids, and they're responsible for making you kind of contract that way. So one of the best exercises you can do to work those muscles is called a scapular retraction. So you start out with your arms nice and wide, and then you kind of pull them back. And I'm holding it. This is a great isometric exercise. And relax. And you can try different heights of your arms. They can be up a little bit higher. They could be a little bit lower. You could see from this side. So I'm going back, back, back. And I'm just pulling and squeezing. One of the things I'm not doing is I'm not elevating my shoulders and I'm not kind of shrugging it. I'm relaxing my shoulders, relaxing my trap muscles, and then pulling it back, okay? Another way that you can do that, so you have different arm positions, is arms straight out in front of you and kind of pulling straight back. So I pull straight and then my elbows go in. And again, you can kind of see I go here and I pull back and I hold for a few seconds. So you can do this again as an isometric exercise where you're just getting into that position and you hold that contraction for maybe 10-20 seconds, or you can just do it very slowly and go, 1, 2, things like that. And then we can also do the ones where you open and close your arms. That is a great exercise for posture. So many of us are sitting in front of a computer or driving and the upper body gets rounded and flexed. So this will be a great exercise for the middle of your back. All right, exercise number 2 for upper body exercises at home with no gym equipment is what's called a neck tilt. People have heard of pelvic tilts. You draw your navel into your spine and it makes your hips tilt forward when you draw and contract your low ab muscles. Well, there's something that happens, especially as we get older, to our neck. And you can see people with their heads forward. And so what we're doing is called a neck tilt. And what I want you to do is stand nice and tall, and then you're going to tuck your chin back. And some people do this against a wall and relax. And if you're against the wall, there's going to be a big space. You could probably slide your whole hand between the wall and your neck. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to flatten my neck out. And it's funny, you'll want to do this in the privacy of your own home and relax. And you'll really feel the muscles on the side of your neck. And again, we're not shrugging. So let me do it from the side. Okay, so here I am. This is my regular posture. And what I'm going to do is pull it back. And I can really feel it. It's called your sternocleidomastoids. That's going to be on the pop quiz. Basically, a lot of the muscles on the side of the neck, in the back of the neck, and even in the front. So that is a great exercise. You can do it seated, you can do it standing, but it's a good one. I would try to do maybe 10 repetitions, holding each one somewhere around 5 seconds. So that's exercise number 2. All right, exercise number 3. What am I doing holding a 2-pound jar of marinara sauce? Well, like I said, if you don't have access to weights, I'm sure you have access to objects in your house and food in your house. And a great exercise to do is work on your rotator cuff. And there's a few different exercises that you can do, but one is a standing overhead external rotation. It's an excellent exercise, and I mean, there have been whole videos and seminars talking about the rotator cuff, but your rotator, there are 4 muscles that make up the rotator cuff, and they allow you to internally rotate, externally rotate, rotate this way, you know, go out to the side. And if you were doing a lot of exercises like chest press, shoulder press, back exercises, your rotator cuff muscles are responsible for stabilizing the shoulder. And when I say shoulder, that also includes your shoulder blade. And so this is a great exercise. It's not really intended to be done with heavy weight, and I doubt that you would be able to use very heavy weight anyways. So what you're going to do is you can prop your elbow on something, or you can just have it holding there, and then you're going to rotate it back and forward, okay, and back and forward. I like to keep a 90-degree bend in my elbow, and I'm not forcing the issue. I'm not saying, you know, how far back I can go. I'm just going forward and backward. So let me show from the side. Okay, if this is your start position and you let it go forward and back, forward and back. So that's the next exercise. That is a standing overhead external rotation with marinara sauce. The next exercise is a standing rotation or a standing twist. Excellent exercise for your trunk, not the elephant trunk, but you know, your abs, your low back, your hips, your glutes, even some of your legs. And depending on how you do this, you will also get a great stretch in the upper body and your pecs and your shoulders and your back. So this movement covers a lot of territory. Some people see it as more of just a core exercise, working, you know, transverse abdominis and maybe internal and external obliques. I think about this as a good range of motion exercise. So I just have a wooden dowel. This one's probably, well, it's a lot taller than I am. And what I do is I just rest it on my back like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn till I'm comfortable and turn till I'm comfortable. I'm not trying to see, you know, how far can I go, but just behind me and behind me, okay? So if I get a little bit closer, you'll see I can get more range without hitting that wall back there, trying to stay in focus, and turn and turn. And you'll notice that there's one side that's going to be tighter than the other side. So this is a great exercise to strengthen that weak side and to stretch that tight side. So that is a standing twist or rotation. You can use a broomstick. You could just twist your body. You don't really need anything, but that's a good standing rotation with a pole. All right, now I have two 32-ounce jars of marinara sauce. And the next exercise is a shoulder raise. There's actually going to be two parts to it. So the first one, if I stand back a little bit, is a forward raise. So I'm lifting my arm up over my head. You can lift it up that high, or depending on your range of motion, maybe eye height or shoulder height. All depends on how you feel. Or you can lift them up simultaneously and just all the way up and all the way down. That's a great exercise for the front of your shoulder, and it's also a good way to stretch out your pecs and stretch out your back. The other one, using the same jars, is a side lateral. So you're lifting to your sides, and what I'm not doing is I'm not shrugging the weight and I am not locking up the elbows. My arms are slightly bent and my traps are relaxed, and I'm lifting up and down. So I'm lifting my elbows and my pinkies, okay? And if I want to, I could do, one at a time, one at a time. So that's a great exercise for the front and sides of your shoulders with marinara sauce. Exercise number 6, keeping the same jars of marinara sauce, is a biceps curl. If you don't have access to dumbbells or you don't have a machine, biceps curl machine, you can do with jars like these. And what I'm going to have you do is you're going to hold kind of this neutral or hammer grip position. That would be one way. Then you can supinate and turn. Okay, this works the short head of the bicep. Doing it this way works the long head and the short head of the bicep, as well as your brachialis or brachialis. Sounds like a dinosaur, but it's muscles in your kind of forearms. Okay, so we have what I say neutral, and we have turns. And you notice I'm doing them. You can do them alternating. You can do them simultaneously. But one thing that's also important is don't forget to keeping your elbows at your side and then do it with palms down. That's an awesome exercise for your forearm extensors, okay, the muscles on the top, because we're usually thinking about, grip strength and how tough and squeeze, and those are the muscles, right, that are on this part of your forearm. But what about the muscles on the top that are responsible for you to do this? And that's where doing bicep curls, again, might look a little bit goofy, but it really doesn't take much. You can just hold these things up there and really feel the muscles on the tops of the forearms working. So you have neutral or hammer, you have supinated, and then we have the palms down. So there's a biceps curl. Exercise number 7 with the jar of marinara sauce is a dumbbell, or a jar in this case, tricep kickback. So great exercise for the back of the arm. And what I'm going to do is extend, keeping my elbow high. I'm not shrugging. I'm just keeping my arm up and my elbow against my side. And I am extending my arm behind me. Let's do it the other side. So like that, elbow behind. Okay. What I am not doing is, rocking it, elbow against, shoulder high, and extend. I am not moving my wrist. Just keep your wrist in a neutral position and extend. Just like that. And you can do that if you wanted to do 2 jars at the same time. That would be a great movement. But that is a tricep kickbacks with a 32-ounce jar of marinara sauce. All right, exercise number 8 is a push-up. And there's lots of different ways you can do push-ups. You can do them kneeling on a floor. You could be leaning up against a wall. You could be leaning up against a chair, which I'll show you in a minute. If you want to make it even more difficult, you could do it with your toes on the chair and your hand on the floor. So there's lots of different ways that you can do a push-up, but it's a great exercise for your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, and also you're working a lot of core. So let me demonstrate. So just have a basic chair, hands right on the seat. We're going to lower down and push up. Lower down and push up. And you can do different hand positions. You can hold on the side. So there you have it. So those are 8 exercises that you can do at home, great for the upper body, that you don't need any exercise or gym equipment. Let me know how it goes.